Welcome back to the channel Kanu Sir, and I'm your teacher Pawan Kanu. I have come with a new topic today, and my today's new topic is simple interest and compound interest. And before understanding the meaning of simple interest and compound interest, you must understand the three terms used during the solution of simple interest and compound interest. And the three terms are principal, rate of interest, and time period. So, what is the principal here? Principal is the amount of loan taken by a borrower. For an example, you are in need of money and you have requested some amount of money to your friends, your relative, or you have directly gone to a bank and you have demanded some amount of money in a bank in exchange of your house or exchange of your car or any other assets. Then they will provide you a certain sum of money, or as per your demand you will be given some amount of money. That amount of money is called principal. And the next topic is rate of interest. So rate of interest is the charge. It is the charge, it is the amount that a lender charges for the use of the loan by the borrower. So whenever you have taken some amount of money, you have to pay the money back. But when you pay the money back, you have to pay some extra amount of money along with the money you have borrowed. So that extra amount of money by which you have to pay back is the rate of interest, or you can say the amount of interest, or that amount is called simple interest. So under what conditions, under what percentages the money is given, that rate is called rate of interest, and that amount, the extra amount which you have paid, that is called simple interest or compound interest. But there is a difference between simple interest and compound interest. I will come later in the topic, but let us come to the next topic, that is time. So time is the total amount or total period or total duration of the loan until which you have assumed, you have just consumed that amount of money, you have utilized the amount of money, and later on you have to return under certain fixed period of time. So that time is called, that duration is called time. And now the difference between simple interest and compound interest. So for that we have to take one example. There is a person Ram. He has borrowed rupees 100 from a person A and rupees 100 from a person B, and the rate of interest by A was 2 percentage and the rate of interest by B was 2 percentage per year. So in 1 year he has to return that 100 rupees to A back and 100 rupees to B back, but with a rate of 2 percentages each. So next year when he goes to pay the money back, he has to pay 2 percentage of 100 will be 2 rupees and 2 percentage of 100 will be 2 rupees, and hence the total will be 102. This 2 will be added with 100 and you will get 102, and similarly there will be 102. So on the first year, in the first year you will have to pay just 102 for A and 102 for B, whereas rupees 2 and 2 will be the interest, and this one is also the interest. Now for the next year, again the 2% will be allowed to be paid. Then he will have to pay 2% of this 100 rupees, because he might have taken, or he has taken the amount for 2 years. The time period is 2 years. Let us assume the time period was 2 years. Then on the very first year he has to pay 2 rupees as interest for the first year, and again as for the 2% interest you will have to pay again 2 rupees in the first year. So total he will have to pay 102 plus 2, 104, and this is the condition of simple interest. But let us understand about the condition for compound interest. In a compound interest, the very first year is similar to that of simple interest, but when it comes for the second year, there is a little bit different. Now, the previously in the first case, the principal was 100, and the principal was 100 for the first year, even in the second case. But after the first year, in the second year, the principal was again the same amount 100, but in the second case during second year the principal will not be 100 anymore, the principal will become 102. Why this is so? Because that 2 extra amount of interest which he has to pay, he didn't have paid the amount back to the person B on the end of first year. So when the starting of second year, he have his total amount to be remaining to pay for B is 102. So the new principal for the person for Ram to be paid for B is 102, and hence that is the principal for the second year, that is 102. And now as for the 2%, the value becomes 2% of 102, you will get 2.04, and hence while adding this amount 2.04, 102 plus 2.04 will be 104.04, and hence 0.4 amount of rupees will be extra paid in the condition of compound interest. So in most of the cases, while whenever a person borrows some amount of money nowadays or normally, people they give money in the condition of compound interest, and normally some of the people they also borrow money by the condition of simple interest, but mostly compound interest is being followed in our practice. So this is the understanding about simple interest and compound interest. One more example I will want to explain you to find the actual formulas related simple interest and compound interest. Once again, let us take an example. Ram has borrowed rupees 100 from person A. Then by 2% rate of interest, the interest is 2% of 100. It means 2 by 100 into 100. Again, the total amount to be paid by Ram in 2 years will be the total amount of interest. The total amount of interest to be paid by Ram in 2 years will be, this is the amount of interest in our first year, will be 2 times 100, 2 upon 100 into 100 into 2. So try to understand here, 2% means 2 by 100, and this 100 is of the principal P, and this 2 is for the time duration, and hence here you will come to know 2 into 100 into 2 divisible by 100 is actually the simple interest for 2 years. Because here you can understand the language. Ram has borrowed rupees 100 from person A by 2% rate of interest. The interest is 2% of 100, that is 2 by 100 into 100, and the total amount of interest to be paid by Ram in 2 years will be 2 by 100 times 100 times 2. So you can make the formula from here. What you come to know, that is 2 is the rate, 100 is the principal, 2 is the time, and here is the 100. So RPT by 100, or normally we study PTR by 100, and hence the formula for simple interest is PTR by 100. Yes, you can find the value at the end, but we are actually trying to find the formula needed for the purpose of simple interest. 2 times 404 rupees. So the simple interest is 4, but the formula is PTR by 100. Now similarly for the next case, that is compound interest. So on the very first year, whether it is for compound interest or it is for simple interest, if the rate of interest is according to the yearly income or yearly basis, if it is in a yearly basis, then formula will be same even in a compound interest or in a simple interest. But when it comes for 2 years, here the question was for 2 years, so you cannot use the same formula here. When it was asked for the 1 year, just first year, then you can use the same formula in the compound interest. But when it asks for more than 1 year, then you have to use little bit different formula. So now for the compound interest, how to make the formula or how to find the formula for compound interest? Here, I will not take the example of RAM like before. Here I will take a more simpler one. Let the principal be P, the time be T, and the rate of interest be R. And CI denotes compound interest, whereas CA will denote compound amount. So for the first year, the time duration will be 1 year, rate of interest will be R as it is, and principal is P, and hence we will have to use the same value of the simple interest, because I have said you for the very first year the compound interest and simple interest formula will be same if the rate of interest is asked as in the term of per year. So simple interest will be equals to compound interest, that is PTR by 100. So for the first year, if time is 1, you will get PTR by 100. I am not going to put the value of time here, but why you will come to know later on here. Again, for the second year, time is again 1 year, because we have calculated the interest for the first year and hence PTR upon 100. Again when we calculate the interest for the second year, again the value will be PTR upon 100, but at this time the principal will be something different, because the compound amount is equals to principal plus compound interest, or simply principal plus interest, where you will get P plus PTR upon 100, and if you take P common, you will write 1 plus R upon 100, and here I have put value of T as equals to 1. So here now again the same formula PTR upon 100, because it is the condition of only 1 year, and I have said you that if we calculate the simple interest or calculate the compound interest only for 1 year, formula will be same for 1 year. Or simple interest, now this is the P2 or the second principal for the second year. That is why compound interest amount will be equals to second principal for the second year. So in place of P, we will write this value here, P 1 plus R upon 100 into T times R, and value of T is 1 year upon 100. So we'll get here, you can change simple interest will be equal to compound interest for the second time, and you get here compound interest for the second year will be PR upon 100 times 1 plus R upon 100. Now after getting the compound interest, now we have to find the compound amount for the second year. I'll do it here in front of compound amount for second year will be principal of second year and compound interest for the second year. That is equals to principal of second year is P1 plus R upon 100. P1 plus R upon 100 plus compound interest of second year will be PR upon 100 times 1 plus R upon 100. Now here you can get 1 plus r upon 100 common, and P will be common to you. So you can write P 1 plus r upon 100, and from all these value nothing is left, means there is 1, plus from all these value P is out, 1 plus r upon 100 is out, and r by 100 is left. And hence this way you will get 1 plus r upon 100, 1 plus r upon 100 is equals to 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 2 square. Again, let us take for the third year also. Let us take for third year also. You will be more clear after taking third year. For the third year, the time is 1 year, and new principal P3 is equals to compound amount of second year. So we will write P 1 plus r upon 100 power 2, and we need to calculate the compound interest for the third year. But I have told you, whenever we calculate the compound interest or simple interest for only 1 year, we can use the same formula, PTR times 100. So simple interest for the third year, the compound interest for third year will be as it is, PTR times 100. So in place of P, you have to write this all three because it is the principal of the third year. So P times 1 plus R times R by 100 whole square, and the time is 1 here, and you write just R and whole upon 100. This way again you will separate that PR 1 plus R upon 100 whole square upon 100. This is the compound interest of the third year. And finally, the compound amount for the third year is principal of third year and compound interest of third year. So that is equals to principal of third year is P 1 plus R upon 100 square plus compound interest of third year is P R upon 100 bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole square. And here you are almost near to the answer now. P taking common, 1 plus R upon 100 whole square, 1 plus R upon 100 whole square is also common. Now what is left in this corner? Nothing. It means there is 1, and plus R upon 100 is the left item here. So in this way, what we come to know, again we have got another 1 plus R upon 100. So that is equal to P 1 plus R upon 100 power 3. So what we conclude that on the very first year, the compound amount for the first year was P 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 1. And in the second year, the compound amount became 1 P 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 2. And for the third year, it became P 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 3. So what we get the conclusion that compound amount is equals to P times 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T. And this is the most useful formula in the compound interest. Similarly, to find the value of compound interest, how to get the value now, or how to make the formula for compound interest, we have come to know about compound amount. So compound amount is equals to principal plus compound interest, or compound amount minus principal is equals to compound interest, or compound amount, just now we come to know P 1 plus R upon 100 power T minus P is equals to compound interest. So we will get, therefore, compound interest, taking P common from both sides, P bracket 1 plus R upon 100 power T, and minus P is coming out, so there will be just 1. So the formula for compound interest is P times 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T minus 1. And most of the students put this minus 1 near to the t and they get confused whether this minus 1 is in the power terms or is just in a constant number term. So it is just in a number term here, it is never kept in a power term. So you must be careful about this formula and this formula. So this is the formula that is used when the term is asked for the annually. So it means if the rate of interest is per annum, when you have to pay the interest is for the yearly basis, then you have to use the same formula. But when you have to use the half yearly basis or semi-annually or monthly, so when it is for yearly, the formulas for compound amount is P times 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T, and compound interest is P times 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T minus 1. But when it is half yearly or semi-annually, so what do you mean by half yearly and semi-annually? Half yearly means on every 6 months you have to pay the interest of the amount you have borrowed, or semi-annually is the same amount, or even it is called 6 months. Yearly means exactly after 12 months you have to pay the interest, but half yearly means after every 6 months you have to pay the interest of the amount you have taken as a loan. So in this case, compound amount is equals to P times 1 plus 2R upon 100 power 2t. R upon 2 times 100. And why it is so? Because in semi-annually the rate will be just half counted, okay, and the time will be just double. How it is? Because for 1 year you have to pay interest for 6 months plus 6 months, it means you have to pay 2 times interest. So time will be just 2 times t. So you are paying 2 times in a year, so you have to calculate 2 times a year. And the same way for the compound interest will be P, and copy the same area here, 1 plus R times 200 power 2 times T minus 1. And if it is asked monthly, it means if you have to pay the compound interest on every month the loan you have taken, then the compound amount in that case will be 1 plus R upon month into multiply the month by 1200. We don't go off here in the power because the year is broken into 12 times 12 months. So we'll write month just in the inside of the bracket, we will near to the R and divided by 12 times. Or you can understand here the rate will be divided by 12 times, R by 12. Because there are 12 months in a year, so the rate will be divided 12 times in a year. So R by 1200, here 2 times, so R by 200. And the compound interest monthly will be P times 1 plus MR by 1200 minus 1. And because there is no power here, so this will be cancelled out and you will get P M R upon 1200. And one more formula is there. If in the case you will get yearly along with monthly, if month and year both are asked, it means the duration is given in a mixed way. Month is also required and year is also required in that condition. If the time duration is for like 2 years and 4 months, then you have to write a formula of compound amount like P 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T. This much is for 2 years, and again you have to use the month formula also. You will write 1 plus MR upon 1200. Similarly for compound interest also, you have to take P common, 1 plus r upon 100 power t and 1 plus mr upon 1200 minus 1. So when the time is asked in a mixed way, yearly as well as monthly, or in a year and month, then you have to break the formula here for the year and for the month. And again it says half yearly. The rate of interest will be paid half yearly, then 1 will be changed to 2, and here also 1 will be changed to 2, and here will be 2 times t and 2 times t, and mr upon 1200 will be as it is. So this was for today's, and I hope you have understood the way the formulas are made of simple interest and compound interest. In the next video, I will be making the video for the solution related compound interest and simple interest. Till then, keep practicing, keep learning. Bye. Wait a while, I forgot one more point here. What is the next point there? What happens if the rates are different? If there are two different rates given in your question, then the formula will be compound amount is equals to P1 plus R times 200, or okay, as it is when we take for yearly, R1 by 100, again 1 plus R2 by 100 and 1 plus R3 by 100. It means the time duration is of 3 years, and every year the rate of interest is changing. Then at that time you have to use the formula compound interest P1 plus R times 100, R by 100, R3 times 100. And when you are asked for compound interest, then compound interest is P whole bracket minus 1. So this will change into interest. So there is no big difference between the formula of amount and interest. Just have to add minus 1 here in the formula and take P common out. But if the conditions are different, then the formulas will be different. You will be getting more easily solved. You will get your solution solved easily in the next video. So till then, keep practicing and keep learning. Once again, bye.